Hi, thanks for joining me. It's Christine Crutcher from Create with Christine. I'm here with another Tuesday tip video tutorial. For my project this week, I am featuring the Many Mates bundle, which is a new bundle available starting tomorrow in our 2020 to 2021 annual catalog. So, here's the stamp set called Many Mates, and one of the reasons I got this in my pre-order is because it's got stamps for all occasions. It's got a couple you can actually color in, either with your markers, with your ink and a blender pen, with watercolor pencils. So lots of possibilities. And then I love the size because it fits in a lot of our punches and a lot of our die cuts. So there's 19 stamps in this set. So it's a great value. The bundle is a dies bundle, so you'll need a die cutting machine to crank those out. And there's 4 dies in the set, and I will show you when I point down. So I partnered up the stamp set with the In Good Taste Designer Series paper. So that's also available starting tomorrow. And that paper is what I'm calling a mega bundle. So it's double the amount of papers that are in our normal papers. There's 24 sheets, so it's also going to be double the price. So I'm not sure if I mentioned, the bundle is $51.25 for the stamp set and the dies. Please message me because there's going to be a way you can get it for free starting tomorrow, June 3rd. Through June 30th, so please private message me or email me if you are interested in getting a bundle for free during our June recruiting special. And the paper is $21. So I'm going to point you down and we're going to go ahead and stamp, and then I also have a bonus card to show because I just finished a swap also with this bundle. So hopefully I won't spoil the surprise of some of my swappers that might be watching, but oh well, so hang tight. Whoops. No, I think I'm still live. Okay, I think I'm good. Okay, so here's my card. Like I showed in the beginning, it's a happy birthday. But I'm going to change the sentiment, and I'm going to just use the It's Your Day. Here's a look again at the stamp set. So like I mentioned, there's 19 stamps in the set. And let's go ahead and do our stamping first. So I'm going to use the It's Your Day stamp. I'm stamping in Rococo Rose, and I have Rococo Rose ink, and I have Rococo Rose cardstock. So when I normally use my punches, I usually cut out a strip of cardstock that's 2x4, and this is so I have something to hang on to when I stamp. And I'm using the Everyday Label punch, but this will fit into some other punches. I'm going to show you another sample, and in that sample I use the tailored tag punch. So both of these carried over. So we're just going to put that in upside down. And then I thought, well, maybe I might want to jazz this up a little bit that I didn't do on the first one. So I'm going to bring my ink pad back over, and I have a blender pen, and I'm just going to pick up my blender pen and color in parts of the image. You could use a marker if you have your markers handy. This is fun because I could actually go lighter to darker. So I can go darker on the bottom on my day and then lighter at the top. Whew, I've been staring at my computer a lot, so my eyes aren't quite as sharp as they normally are. Whew. Okay, so there we go. It's all colored in with the same color ink. So I'm just going to set that aside, get rid of my ink pad. And then let's look at some of the other pieces of my card. I have a 3 3/4 by 5-inch piece of the Designer Series paper. So on one side it's this pretty Rococo Rose. These are kind of tile and wood textured images, but on the back is a kind of cool wood grain. So I think I'm going to go with the wood grain for this one. But I want to show you how I did the dies. So there's 4 dies in this set, and let me show you. You get kind of 3 skinny-ish looking ones, and they're really kind of cool. They're kind of like tiles and geometric shapes. And then you get one that's like the whole size of a card front. Okay, so one of my tips is when you crank this through your die cutting machine, try to very carefully pick it up, and I'm going to use our retired die brush, but then while it's still on the die, go through and get all these little pieces out. Sorry, it's kind of loud. Okay, so then we're going to have a big giant mess like that. I'll deal with that later. But this is going to be a little messy. But hopefully it should pop out most of them. If not, I just try to like run my fingers through a couple times. And then if there's some of the little tiny pieces in the middle that did not come out, I use my Take Your Pick tool. Or if I don't have my Take Your Pick tool handy, I use a kitchen skewer. That also works really well for this. Or the tip of your paper snips. You just got to be really careful if you're going to use your paper snips. So what I'm going to do is just kind of dump this really quick. Okay, that's better. What I'm going to do is I only want the inner. So 3 by 4, this little piece in the middle. So what I'm going to do is take my paper snips, and I'm going to snip off the edges. And this is really kind of neat because you just guide right along the edge. You'll have some leftover pieces. You could even use those on another project. So I haven't decided. I kept my ones from earlier when I designed my sample. So I'm just going to follow it around. Snip, snip, snip right at the edge. I'll show you another idea. I did a swap and I mailed it yesterday. And I used the same die cut, but I did it a different way. Okay, so there's what I want to keep, and this is what I might save and use it for a different project. Okay, and like I said, there's a couple little tiny pieces that did not come out, so I'm just going to take my Take Your Pick tool and try to poke them out. If you have some that are really stubborn, I got really smart and covered them up with my punches and my swap that I did. Because since I've used this die cut a bunch already, I kind of got the tricks of the trade. I crank mine through the Big Shot a couple times. It just helps with these more intricate dies get all the pieces out. Okay, So that looks pretty good. I'm just going to dump those again. There's a couple left. So I got my die cut piece. You might have some pieces kind of hanging at the back. So you might want to flip over and check if you have like pieces back here that are going to annoy you. I sometimes just take my fingernail and try to get them out of there. So I have two that are being persnickety. I'm trying not to poke myself with my take your pick poker. This thing is sharp. Okay, so there's my piece. So I have all my pieces now. I have a Rococo Rose card base. I have my wood grain paper. I also have a piece of the Rococo Rose ribbon. This has got a cool linen part to it, so I thought it kind of went really well with the wood paper. So I've got that. So I'm going to snail on my designer paper. It's 3 3/4 by 5. This is also loosely based on a sketch that I'm playing with, Casing Tuesday. The sketch is very different, but this is what I ended up with today. And then with my die, I'm going to use liquid glue. And I'm going to be strategic. There's little spots in the middle. I'm just going to try to go as light as I can. And then there's these little square pieces. And then a little tiny bit in the corners. Whoops. I think I just got glue on my DSP. And then I'm going to go, hey, I forgot, oh no, I did this right, okay. I thought I forgot to do the ribbon around the sides, because that's how I was originally going to do the ribbon, but then I decided to do something different with the ribbon. Sorry if I'm shaking the camera. Okay, get that little guy out of there. You can kind of take your pick and tool and kind of get it out of there. Okay. With my ribbon, it's a 5.5 inch piece, and I'm just going to glue dot it down in the middle, and then I'm going to cut my tails. So I'm going to put a couple glue dots. And then with my sentiment, I'm going to put it up on dimensionals. So here's my sentiment. I'm going to put 3 and 3, 6 total. I think I've got 6 here. So today's June 2nd. It's the last day to order anything from the Retiring Last Chance products from the January to June mini catalog and the 2019-2020 annual catalog. So tomorrow, just to let you know, ordering will be not available until 2 p.m. Eastern, while all the new products go over to the website. And I can just throw this on and then I'll cut my tails. Then I'll show you my bonus card. So like I said earlier, this bundle, which is the stamp set and the dies, is going to be part of a recruiting special, and you can earn it for free from June 3rd to June 30th. So please send me a message if you are interested in getting more details on that. Okay, so here was the original sample with the kind of more white and the textured Rococo Rose. And then here's with the wood grain with the stamp set colored in a little bit. So let me know which one you like better. Kind of the one that's more white tiled or the wood grain. I'd love to get your reaction. And then here is a bonus card. This was a swap I just finished and mailed yesterday. So I used the medallion die. Let me bring it over one more time and show you. So it fits the whole entire front of a card. But what I did with this one is I actually chopped it in half. So I cranked it through once and I was able to get 2 for each. Yeah, I was able to get 2 out of 1 die because I just cut it down the middle in half with my paper snips. And just added the really pretty Magenta Madness ribbon and some rhinestones. So this was a swap I just did. And just also to let you know is I have a June host code, and my host code is 979PFPXM. And if you spend $25 or more in June, you will get 3 make and take projects from me featuring the new World of Good Specialty Designer Series paper. So that's also one of the new papers that is going to be available starting tomorrow. So just to recap, today is the last chance to order from the retiring annual catalog and the mini catalog from January to June. Tomorrow the new catalog goes live, and I'll be sharing some more information later this week. I'll have an email out to my mailing list tomorrow, so if you're not on my mailing list, please join ASAP. And then on Friday night at 7 o'clock, I'm going to be back here live doing another Facebook Live where I can actually show you parts of the catalog. So I can't show you the catalog until tomorrow. So Friday night is the night that works for me this week to do a kind of catalog kickoff here on Facebook Live. So thanks so much for tuning in. I'm just going to come back and say hi up here again. Hey, Jen. So thanks so much for watching and tuning in. I'll post all the details of the measurements of my card below, and I will hopefully see you Friday night at 7 if you're around Eastern for the new catalog kickoff on Facebook Live, or I'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.